Alright, look, before I start this video, I gotta do something. It's something that I hoped I could go the rest of my entire existence on this blue marble without doing. But I think I gotta do it now because of the way I titled the video, and I think it would be funny for you guys. I gotta eat this carrot. I really hate carrots. Why? Alright, so despite how much I dislike the vegetable carrot, I love the character carrot. I like her. I know it's kind of maybe a little bit of split in the fandom right now, whether or not she would make a good addition to the Straw Hat crew, or whether or not you can even tolerate her. Some people just want her to kind of just go away. I like her. I really do. I hope she joins the crew. And so here you go. This is a video, in kind of like in tandem with the most recent chapter of One Piece, kind of doing like a little chapter discussion here, chapter 878. This is top 5 reasons for why Carrot is going to join the Straw Hat crew. Now, I should let you know right out of the gate that this list bias as hell. I want Carrot to join the crew, so this is not going to be me going like, here's a point why she should join, and here's a counterpoint why she shouldn't. So with that being said, if you want to go and do that, I welcome second opinions. I welcome other perspectives on this. If you want to make a list countering my list, go ahead. If you want to make a list, 5 reasons why Carrot shouldn't join the crew, go ahead and do it. I welcome other perspectives in the comments, go ahead. I'm just letting you know right out of the gate what this video is going to be, so there's no confusion, alright? Very heavily biased on my side. Alright, well, with that being said, let's do this. Number 5, I actually caught the damn thing. She's pretty strong. Now, don't get me wrong, in terms of physical power, she's nowhere near, you know, Luffy and Zoro and Sanji. I'm not saying that. But you don't need to be as strong as the Monster Trio as a prerequisite to join the crew. That's a pretty high standard. And when I'm talking about strength, I'm not even talking about just pure physical strength, because there's other aspects to battle, you know? I'm talking about all the other things that Carrot can do that makes her very useful, very versatile while in combat. One of these abilities even kind of took Zoro off guard, and that was her ability to kind of do Geppo. She can kind of like step in the middle of the air, you know, she's a rabbit mink, so she can jump, you know, she jumps good, that's kind of her thing. And then so, you know, Zoro is a guy that's he's been in a lot of battles, he's got observation hockey. Carrot comes leaping out of the bush, and, you know, Zoro goes to swing his sword, and Carrot does, like, that Geppo, you know, step in midair shit, and then just, like, kind of, like, avoids and steps right around him. You know, Zoro was still able to block it. I'm not claiming that, you know, because of that one scene, you know, Carrot can get the one-up on Zoro. I'm just saying that if she was able to take Zoro off guard with that ability, who's already a seasoned warrior, she should be able to use it to her advantage with other, you know, seasoned warriors. It just makes sense. She has great mobility. That being a rabbit mink, that's kind of her deal. So already that's pretty good, decent speed there. Much higher than other members of the crew already, like Nami, for instance, you know, or Robin. You know, her speed stats pretty high compared to those two. Then you have probably the main attraction to a mink, which would be the Electro ability. There's sometimes where I'm actually looking at the minks and the way that Oda designed them. You know, Oda set up the minks as strong warriors ever since birth. You know, to the point where even infants are able to kind of fend for themselves and utilize the Electro. Part of me wonders if he actually set the minks up like that, like, oh, I'm gonna give them this electrical ability, I'm gonna give them this strength, ever since they were children, not only so they could, like, fend off Jack and everything like that, so that actually makes sense on how their society has lasted for so long and how they were able to fend off Jack and the other members of the Beast Pirate crew, but also for Carrot and Pedro, because when Pedro, you know, was introduced, you know, these are new characters and they're already journeying with the Straw Hats, we kind of need to know that they'll be able to handle themselves. Even if they were only going to journey with the crew for a short amount of time, this is the new world we're talking about here. They need to kind of be able to handle themselves. So maybe that's what Oda did. He's like, all right, I'm going to give them this ability called Electro. They're going to be able to use it since birth. They've been mastering this ever since they were in the freaking cradle, you know, so they're really good at using it, and they all have their different, you know, different versions they can use it, how they can electrocute people with, and, like, they can channel it through weapons and everything like that. These minks are able to stand with New World threats. That's what Oda was trying to get across here, right? And that's one of the biggest concerns you got to think about whenever you talk about the New World and adding a new member to the crew. I remember when the time skip happened, I was thinking that whoever they're going to get to join the crew after the time skip is already going to have to be strong enough to deal with the New World. because the Straw Hats spent 2 years training in their respective fields. They're really strong now. So we need, if anyone's going to join the Straw Hats after the time skip, they're going to have to be able to stand with the Straw Hats who have been training for 2 years specifically for this. So what would be better than that? Well, training in this environment your entire life, that would be one thing. And that's why Jinbei joining the crew, that's not a big deal. That's not a concern. He used to be a warlord. He's one of the strongest. He's like a master of fishman karate, one of the strongest fishmen, probably the strongest fisherman in the story period. Right now anyway, maybe Fish or Tiger back when he was alive, but he's dead now. So that's not a question for Jinbei. So Jinbei joining, that's easy. But with Carrot, it's they kind of needed to prove it a little bit that she can handle herself, and I think she's proven that. She was able to electrocute and handle a fair amount of Big Mom's, the lower level soldiers and everything like that. Would she be a match for like Smoothie or Cracker? No, but barely Luffy was a match for Cracker at the end of it. These are the Yonko commanders, but she can handle the new world. She can handle most threats that are presented to her. And I think Oda has shown that. So in terms of just power and mobility and other, aspects, handling herself on the battlefield, having to fight and everything, she's been trained ever since she was a kid. In fact, we learn in this recent chapter, 878, on how she got her gauntlets. Ella Claws, I think they're called, the bunny claw gauntlets that she wears, that she channels her electro through, and she's been training with these things ever since she was a little kid. Number 4 is the exact nature on how she joined up with the crew, is a little bit suspicious to me, and some other people as well. A few weeks back, we did this big event on Roger Base's channel. It was me and a bunch of other anime YouTubers. It was Roger, it was Joy Boy, it was Fornever, it was Brago, Sawyer, King of Lightning, me. If you missed that stream, the Reverie, I'm sorry, but you missed the event of the millennium, if we're being honest with ourselves here. But yeah, during the stream, somebody brought up, I can't remember who it was, but somebody brought up the exact nature on how just Carrot was just kind of there on the ship. Like, Pedro had a good reason for going with the Straw Hats, because he had his whole history with Totland and Big Mom, and how he used to be a member of the Nox Pirates, and this was kind of his swan song. He wants to go to Totland to kind of like, avenge, the deaths of his crew and Zeppo and everybody like that. So Pedro had a good reason for going with the Straw Hats. In fact, if you backtrack a bit and look at a lot of the other people that have journeyed with the Straw Hats and then left later, they always have a good reason for that. Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Momonosuke, they all have good reasons for traveling with the Straw Hats. Law he's the pirate captain of his own crew, so he's not going to join the Straw Hats, but he has a good reason for traveling with them as well. Vivi had a good reason, but Carrot was just like, oh, I snuck aboard, how you guys doing? And it really feels like Oda's trying to tell us something there. Either he's just like, oh, for this one arc, I decided to introduce this cute bunny mink that can electrocute shit, and I just felt like drawing her, so here you go for this one arc only, but after that I'm gonna, well, maybe not for this one arc only, because she's probably gonna go to Wano as well, but after that, that's another thing I want to bring up, kind of, is that we're going to be with Carrot for a long time, guys. Okay, even if she's not going to join the crew, she's going to be with us for the rest of Totland and then to Wano. They're not going to backtrack. All right, well, let's go back to Zoe to drop off Carrot, then let's go to Wano. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do that. I'm pretty sure right after Totland, they're going to hightail it to Wano. And Wano's gonna be a very long arc. I don't want to say it's gonna be as long as Dressrosa, because Dressrosa was the longest arc in One Piece history, 100 chapters even. But it's gonna be pretty close to that, because I'm sure Oda's been gearing up for Wano for a long time. I would be very disappointed if Wano was less than 80 chapters, so, we're gonna be with Carrot for the next few years, so even if she's not gonna join, get used to her, but that's the point I'm trying to make. Oda has a basic idea on where his story is going, how long Totland was gonna be, how long Wano's gonna be, and he decides to just throw Carrot in, like, oh, she's just on the Thousand Sunny, I'm just here because I'm a stowaway and I just want to see the world, knowing full well that we're going to be with Carrot for a long time. We're in this for the long haul. Easily over 100 chapters combining Totland and Wano together, maybe even closer to the realms of 200 chapters, possibly. So, I feel like Oda is, letting us, travel with Carrot for a little while there to get to know her, And I think this is going to result in something, in her actually joining up with Jinbei, becoming, like, getting 2 members of the crew for the price of 1, basically. So, yeah. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, man, I was on a roll there. I thought that would taste better or something. Whatever. But yeah, basically it comes down to the lack of reasons that Carrot is there, and it's more of just, like, she's there just because she was there. I think that's kind of Oda, like, all right, well, we're going to have this arc where we kind of, like, show her off a little bit, what she can do, all of her little quirks, how she can fight and everything. And this is going to be the audience getting to know her, and that's going to be the build-up for her joining. That's basically the premise I'm trying to get across here. Number 3 is just an issue of diversity, all right? I think I've said this before. I'm sure a lot of other people have said this before. The Straw Hat Pirates are a freaking sausage fest, okay? We got 7 dudes and 2 women, all right? We can use another female on this crew. Could we not? All right? It doesn't have to turn into a harem, okay? We don't have to have, like, a female for every male or anything like that. But before the series, gets to, like, the later stages, while by the time we get to, like, the epic battles and everything, and Raftel and the One Piece and everything, we could deal with having another female on the crew. All right, I think we can all admit that, all right, with ourselves. On top of that, she's a mink, so that's also a little bit of diversity there. And also, if Jinbei and Carrot were to join up at the same time, which I believe they are going to do that, just because it's been so freaking long since we've had a new Straw Hat member, I feel like Oda's going to be like, all right, it's been like almost 10 years since we've gotten Brooks, so here's a twofer. We not only get a fishman, we also get a mink who happens to be a female, and I think that would work really well with the dynamic of the crew. I think that would improve that a little bit, as well as getting more, battle power as well. So just for an issue with diversity, I think it would be a good chance for Carrot to join. If not Carrot, like who else? Like, I guess we could always meet another woman, in Wano or something to join up, but I mean, what would be the point of Carrot then? Don't just come out and say, oh, there is no point with Carrot, because I feel like that's really kind of undermining Oda's writing. Oda's not the kind of guy, like, I'm just gonna throw a character here, there's really no reason why she should be there, I'm just gonna draw her, and then she's just gonna go away. Like, even the case with Vivi, Vivi, there was a reason for her being with the crew. There was a good reason for her to be there, and she traveled for, like, 4 story arcs up until Alabasta. And she's still relevant to the story. So yeah, diversity, though, that's a big reason why I think she should join. Okay, so number 2. Just follow me on this. There's a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but there's a decent number of people, at least a decent number of comments that I've read about this, on why Carrot cannot join the crew. And it almost always comes back to the idea that she can't join the crew because she doesn't have a tragic backstory like the other crew members do. And I've addressed this before. I did a video once talking about the next potential Nakama, and whenever I'm talking, I think even reviews, I've mentioned this and everything. But let me just bring up a few things. Number 1, most recent chapter. Okay, like I said, no tragic backstory before? Well, we got one now, okay? We got a connection now. We got something happening to her that was very traumatizing, that is very tragic, all right? Somebody that she looked up to, somebody that taught her how to fight, blew themselves up right in front of her. So if that's not tragedy to you, then I don't know what planet you're living on. Maybe planet Berserk. That might not be too tragic if you live on planet Berserk. But for right here on planet One Piece, that's pretty tragic. Also, just look at the idea that, like, you have to have a really, really just sappy backstory in order to join the Straw Hats. That's just not true. I mean, yeah, look at Brooks, look at Robin's. Those are pretty sad. Nami's is pretty sad. Those were pretty tragic. But on the other hand, look at Usopp's backstory. You know what Usopp's backstory is? Usopp's backstory is his father left when he was a little kid, so he doesn't know his father that much, but at least his father, Yasopp, is still alive, and his mother died when he was a little bit older. Usopp was still a little kid, but when his mother died, she did not die in a really dramatic fashion. She didn't get shot by the world government, or she didn't get killed by a pirate or anything. She just got sick and she died. And that was Usopp's backstory. Is it sad? Sure. Is it super tear-jerking depressing? No. Pedro blowing himself up right in front of Carrot's eyes. A mentor that she's had ever since she was a kid, gone. Is that as sad as Brooks or Robbins? No, but is it pretty decently sad? Yes. Something else that gets brought up is Carrot doesn't have a dream. The Straw Hat crew is a crew of dreamers. They all have to have a really solid dream. Luffy wants to be king of the pirates. Zoro wants to be king of the swordsmen. Chopper wants to be king of the doctors. But what I mean is, what do you quantify as a good dream? Because, yeah, you have Straw Hats like Sanji that want to find the All Blue, like their dream is very tangible. Once Sanji arrives at the All Blue, his dream has been realized. Once Luffy finds the One Piece, his dream has been realized. But then, I point to Usopp once again for an example. His dream is not concrete. His dream is not just go there, find that thing, and then I've attained my dream. Usopp's dream is to become just a brave warrior of the sea. That's not something that you can just go to and get. That's something that you have to accrue. When Carrot first hopped on the Thousand Sunnies, she stated that what she wanted to do, the kind of vague reason we got why she was just there is because I just want to see the world. I want to journey. I've been stuck on the back of an elephant my entire life. I want to see the world. You know what? Fine. That's good. That's fine. Why? I've been stuck in this one island my entire life. I don't know anything about the outside world. I've been living in solitude. I don't know anything about these cultures. I don't know anything about this world. I don't know about anything. I want to see it. I want to learn. I want to travel. I want to make new friends all over the world. I want to see incredible sights that I never would have seen before. That's a dream, is it not? You know, it might not be as concrete or solid, but then again, remember, we've been following all the other Straw Hats, for the better part of 20 fucking years. We've been following Luffy's, Kaizoku Oni Orowanar shit for freaking 2 decades now. We know. It's pretty much cemented in our heads, like Luffy's gonna be king of the pirates. Luffy's gonna be king of the pirates. Oh, now Carrot shows up. She don't even have a dream. Oh, she wants to see the world. That's a lame dream. It's not even really something. It's vague. Whatever. Also, other point, moving on to what happened in the recent chapter, Pedro telling her about the dream of all of the minks and the dream of Inuarashi and Nekomamushi, the dawn of the new era. Sort of passing that on to Carrot, did he? Did he not? He told Carrot about this story. Carrot never heard it before. Carrot's like, why are you telling me all this now? Dawn of the new era? Our tribe's been waiting for hundreds of years? What are you talking about, Pedro? Pedro didn't actually say it. Pedro didn't have I would have liked to see that, by the way. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of a heartfelt moment between the two where Pedro just kind of grabs her on, pats her on the head like she likes it, but then hugs her and it's in your hands now. And then shoves her away no! Bob! But we didn't get that. We didn't get something as dramatic and hammered in as that. But we got something that was fairly, that implied that, him telling Carrot this, she didn't know, and then he killed himself, kind of passing on the torch to Carrot. Take this and maybe you could do something with it, kind of. My job is done. My duty's done. So that's something that also I think can pass as a dream. So just in the idea of you need to have a tragic backstory, not necessarily. Look at Usopp, and she kind of already had her bit of tragedy. And you need to have a dream. Well, she does have a dream. She wants to see the world, and now she has Pedro's dream. So I think check. I think we're good. Moving on to number 1. Marketing! Let's take ourselves out of the realm of the story for a second. We're not talking about the actual, story of One Piece. We're going a little bit meta here, and we're talking about the franchise, the phenomenon that is One Piece. There has been a lot and a lot of money to be earned from this franchise. Wouldn't you agree, Sanji? Wouldn't you agree, Sanji's groin? Yes, I agree. Alright. Sexy, furry, rabbit, pirate girl that can shoot electricity. Do you not think that would be a marketing darling in Japan? I was shopping for books earlier on Amazon today. I was just going through and buying some books. I bought some history books, because that's something I like to study. I also bought some manga. I got One Punch Man Volume 12, because that came out. Also got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Volume 4, those JoJo-niums they have. But you want to know something else that I saw on Amazon that was, like, recommended for me that I did not buy? It was this. It was a two-part encyclopedia for monster girls. It was an encyclopedia of all these fictional creatures, but they were shown as monster girls. All right, and like all these things describing them in great detail. The Japanese are kind of for this, okay? This is kind of a thing that they like, all right? I mean, look at Chopper. I mean, come on now. Chopper is one of the best-selling characters in the entire One Piece series, okay? My point is, from just a financial standpoint for Shueisha, for a marketing standpoint for One Piece, Carrot would be perfect for joining this crew. I could see it now. Carrot figurines. You can get the detachable Ella claws that you can put on her. All the different sexy Carrot figurines that are going to be out there. I mean, I could see the Japanese fanboys just eating her up. Both literally and figuratively in that context. And that's not even getting into all the other weeby stuff, like Carrot body pillows, those little mouse pad things that have Carrot's boobs that I rest my wrists on. The possibilities are endless. All right, I just think if it's revealed that, and by the way, they make figurines of like there's figurines of like Rebecca and like Boa Hancock and everything, but if Carrot were to join the crew, that's a major boost. Because she's now, like, a main part of the cast. And it's somebody, like, they're gonna have to add a new character to that One Piece, tower thing they have in Tokyo. Well, if Jinbei joins and if Carrot joins, they're gonna have to add two characters, okay? But it'll be like, it's a difference between having a side character for just an arc and you make figurines and stuff out of them, but then actually having a Straw Hat proper, because you could keep churning that stuff out and people will keep buying them. I think Carrot's gonna join this crew, in my humble opinion. But anyway, that's just my opinion, and that's just my list. So, comment below, make other response videos. That's one thing I wish YouTube still had, is the video response section, where you can just click and actually tack on a video to my video on a response to my video. But that was back in the olden days of YouTube. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but that was an awesome feature I wish they still had. But yeah, no, make videos, comments, talk about why I'm wrong or why I'm right, or why carrots are the best vegetable ever. And I know there's gonna be somebody in the comment below that's gonna be like, you should really try eating carrots more, Matt. They're a good source of vitamin A. Yeah, you know what else is a good source of vitamin A? That multivitamin shit I take over there. That's a good source of vitamin A. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys support the movement, hashtag carrot for crew, that I'm doing now, so that's a thing. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night, and signing out. Later.